Hello everybody and welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a scrapbooking for beginners and the simple process that I like to do for scrapbooking so you guys can get started for this upcoming year. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's start with the basic supplies that you'll need. Honestly, all you really need is a photo printer, some glue, some scissors, a pen, and a notebook of choice. That is the basic supplies of what you need to get started. A photo printer is very necessary. Obviously, scrapbooking, you're gonna be wanting printing photos, but you could also just go to Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, and do photo prints there as well if you don't want to purchase one. This is the Canon selfie printer. I got this for my 18th birthday. Actually, I didn't hunt it down. I found this pink one and I specifically was like, Mom, if you could find the pink Canon printer, I want this one so bad. And I love this one just because it prints 4x6 photos, so it's a little bit bigger and the photo paper is a little bit better quality. It's more like a regular photo that you'll see, but I just like this one just because you're able to put different size photos in here, and the largest one going up to 4x6 photos. So I really enjoy this one. The only thing is that the paper is obviously a little bit thicker, so your journals will get chunky very fast. So that's my only gripe I would say about this printer, is just the thick paper. But you could also buy those little Canon, I believe it's called the Ivy printers, and the HP sprockets, the ones that already come with sticker paper. I know those are tiny as well. And yeah, I would say that's the main thing. The next thing that I would really focus on is picking a journal, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Next is any type of preference how you would like to glue down your photos in your book. I love this glue tape runner, and I also love a glue stick. I go between the two. I feel like these two though are essential. And then also essential is a pair of scissors. Any pair of scissors will work. The main thing is just to get you into the hobby. Don't worry about supplies. Again, it's the act of scrapbooking, not so much the supplies and the things. Yes, that can get very fun as well, but I say for a starter and how I still scrapbook like on the base level, these are still what I use. A nice little pen. This is the Pilot G2, a classic. And then if you want to just up it a little bit more, add some decorations, I personally really love this corner punch, this rounded corner punch. It has 3 different corners, and I just think it adds some flavor to the photos and make it more fun. Some other things you can pick up are some stickers. These are just from Daiso. These are from my recent Daiso haul. So these are just some of the stickers just to add into your spread, make them a little bit more fun. Something also you can do is you can buy some washi tape. This is a collection of all my washi tape. I don't really use washi tape as often, but I'm really happy with the collection I have here. I feel like I use these constantly, and yeah, I just feel like I just like to make sure if I'm going through washi that it can be replaced in here. And yeah, I think some of them that I really use all the time. I love my Halloween ones. These are my favorite. So for my Halloween scrapbook, I'll definitely be putting those in. And then for Christmas time, I just love these so much. There's like a little Santa hat and all of that. Recently, I just picked up the Japanese cherry blossoms from Daiso as well. They are so pretty. I love them so much. So I picked those are my most recent ones, but I'm not a really big washi girly. I feel like I'm more of a sticker person, and I go through stickers all the time. I actually use them, and yeah, so I'm always just sticker packs on hand. I feel like that's like the basic necessities that you'll need. Next, we'll go into notebooks, but yeah, basic necessities. All you really need, you just want to write down your date, a little memory, a little description, and stuff like that. Basic, all you need. Okay, the notebooks to pick out. I have 3 different varieties of notebooks, and let's talk through them. So this was my first ever scrapbook that I picked up. It was from 2023. Previous scrapbooking, when I first got introduced to it, I did it digitally on my iPad, so that is how I memory kept, so everything's on digital files. But 2023, I really wanted to get my hand back into physical journaling, and I have just been loving it so far. So 3 journals. This and the one right here I'm using for the current year, it's just a blank lined notebook. A blank lined notebook, as long as you have somewhere to paste your photos on, that works perfect. I sometimes like to just put my photos in here, write a little description, and move on. This is one of my favorite spreads of the year. Sometimes I'll lay scrapbook paper down and just like to paste in all of my photos from the month. This was like a February photo dump, so this is everything that I have from February. And yeah, one of my favorite spreads. See, all you need is probably just some scrapbook paper too. Just glue everything down. It's the basics of scrapbooking. Now, if you want something a little bit more different, I would say, these are probably the most popular notebooks. You've probably seen this one all around TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, this is the Lordstrom 1917 dotted grid notebook. And here is my scrapbook. The scale is a lot smaller. I would say for beginner scrapbookers, I would say these two sizes. This is an 8x8. And I personally really love these two sizes. This one has cardstock paper and this one is just regular paper. It's pretty thin. I would say you just need to find a notebook that will make you happy to scrapbook in. If you don't really like chunky notebooks, I would maybe say stay away from the Leuchtturms just because, or maybe get a soft cover just to help with the chunkiness, because I didn't even use up all of the 218 pages. I left like almost 100 blank in the back, and this is pretty chunky. You can see this one over here is chunky as well. I feel like scrapbooking, you're just gonna have a chunky notebook, obviously, but take that into consideration, how much chunk you want in your notebooks. This one, I would say, is pretty good. It's pretty solid, as you guys can see here. I've added some pretty thick things in here, and I am really happy with this. I really considered using this for this upcoming year, but I decided to take a different route and a different styling of scrapbooking this year. So this right here is a little spread from October 2023. This was so much fun. We just went over to my friend's house, and this is what I'm just talking about, like basic little stickers, a little bit of washi tape. These were some Polaroid photos that I had. I actually need to go get that Polaroid camera fixed because now they have lines through them. But this is one of my favorite spreads just because it's so basic, but it says so much. And I feel like I'm not a scrapbooker that likes to put a lot of things. For me, it's mostly just commemorating photos and like little moments throughout the year. So I would say this is a perfect size. This is only $8 on Amazon, and Leuchtturm notebooks run from like $25. So if you want to just jump in, see if you like it, grab either a blank notebook you have on hand, or you could pick up this $8 scrapbook. I absolutely love how this ribbon ties and you just hold it together. I think it's so pretty, and especially to have up on your shelves. And yeah, I highly recommend this one. I haven't had any problems with it yet, holding up over the past 2 years. So yeah, that's this one. And then this Leuchtturm notebook. This is an example of last October. Wow, all of my spreads are from October. This is from last October, and I really love this one too. I love how collagey it is. I obviously wrote down some things in here. And yeah, this is probably one of my favorite spreads as well. I just love an October Halloween spread. I think it's so much fun. So yeah, these are just basic ways I like to scrapbook. Just like to cut up my photos, paste them in here, do some writing, add some washi, add some stickers, and call it a day. I really don't like to make it too serious because, again, this is for me and to look back on in a couple of years and, you know, just commemorate life and memories. And it's just I'm a very sentimental person. So looking back at this, it makes me so happy. And scrapbooks in generals and looking at photos make me absolutely so happy. Just to look back at memories, I feel like this book is really nice because it fits on a shelf very nicely. It's like a regular book size. This one's a little bit different just because it's 8x8. And I would say for an 8.5x11 notebook, this is a size I would not go back to just because how large it is. I only picked this notebook because I wanted to combine junk journaling and scrapbooking in one book, so I wanted a lot more space to do so, and I just don't think I'll be doing that for the foreseeable future. But if you have a smaller notebook with lines, that's totally fine. Again, use what you have, that's all that matters, and start the practice and start getting into routine of scrapbooking. I feel like that's what matters the most. Not so much the supplies. What you have on hand is okay. I've had this notebook since my freshman year of high school, and I've had it around, and I was like, you know what, let me finally put it to use this year, and that's what I did, and she's my scrapbook. So yeah, I love this one I just love how different they are. I like experimenting with different things. So these are my notebooks. Okay, now I just want to talk a little bit about the process of scrapbooking and the way I like to scrapbook. So first things first, how I like to scrapbook and what my process looks like is I like to keep my scrapbook organized in chronological order from January all the way through December. I like to keep the dates in order. It's just how my brain works. It has to be in order. So at the end of the month, I'll make a list of the dates that I want to scrapbook and I want to commemorate. And then from that list, I'll go ahead and go through my phone and start printing out all the photos on my printer from each date. And then from there, if I have time, I'll like to dedicate a few hours to doing the whole month at one sitting, but sometimes that can be a lot. It's definitely dedicating some time and slowing down and printing and organizing your spreads. It's a process that takes some time, but it's really, for me, it's very therapeutic and I enjoy it a lot. So I like to make sure I take a day to update it at the end of the month and go through all my photos and do some printing and some memory keeping. So once I have everything laid out, all the decorations that I want, I'll go ahead and just paste all my photos in. Something that I've actually started is I like to include the date, the location, who I was with, and I like to keep my journaling short in here if I do journal. Here, as you can see, there is no writing in here. So over here, you can just see some writing that I added in as well. Again, I like to keep it very short if I even do write, just because I do journal, like long form journaling and writing in other places, like in my planner. I mean, you could totally add writing in here as well. You could just do one photo with writing or multiple. But if I didn't journal, I would usually like to keep the description pretty brief and just hit the main points that I want to add. Yeah. So again, just my three main sections for scrapbooking is selecting my photos, printing them, layout and paste them in, and then write in any key details that I want to commemorate within the scrapbook. So yeah, that's really all I have for you guys. Keeping it simple, make sure you're just starting the process so you don't get overwhelmed. And yeah. Okay, I'm sorry for how dark it got, but I brought out my iPad to show you guys the scrapbooks that I'm considering and the one I picked out for 2026. So I have scrapbook contenders. I just did this on GoodNotes in my iPad. So the ones I did consider were my craft spiral notebook, my B6 Sterling ink compact, an A5 Hobonichi cousin, and then just another Leuchtturm again. Okay, so these were the contenders. Let's just go through the reasons why I went with the one I went with. The Leuchtturm A5, I wasn't feeling it this year. I feel like I already have the craft spiral notebook. I was really intrigued between the A5 Hobonichi cousin. I really wanted to try scrapbooking within a planner. As you guys know, I like to scrapbook in chronological order, and sometimes I feel like I could get a little stressed with doing everything all at once in one day, like that whole month in one day. So I was thinking if I just have an event or two for the week, it'll be a lot easier to scrapbook, like because all the whole year is already there for you. So it'll be a lot easier to go ahead and scrapbook pretty close to the date that I did, other than like doing everything at the end of the month or even the following month. So yeah, this is what I picked out. I'm going to show you guys the scrapbook that I picked out for 2026. As you guys see, I didn't talk much about the B6 Sterling Compact, and that is because she is going to be my scrapbook for this year. Now, let me just talk to you guys a little bit why I'm deciding to scrapbook in a planner, especially such a small compact planner. I mean, compared to this is a pretty big size difference all around, and I wanted to just get back to the basics of scrapbooking, which is printing a photo and writing a little description or just leaving it as it is. So I was kind of getting a little overwhelmed trying to make like not so much elaborate spreads, but I think I put a lot more pressure on myself to make more cool spreads for 2025. And I do love it. It's so fun. But I think I just want to simplify a little bit more, and I just want to remind myself of why I'm scrapbooking and just to remember the little and big moments, like with my family, with my friends, and like the quiet moments, like when I made a really good matcha and I take a picture of it, or when I'm reading, just nothing extravagant and really just, yeah, keeping it simple. This year I'm deciding to limit myself to only 6 photos or 8 per event, depending on what I need. So yeah, I feel like this will still get very chunky. Let me just show you guys. I have an unboxing. I'll link it down below and in the cards up here. It has 120 blank pages, and then this is the horizontal version, so you just have a blank spread and your weeks on this side. You have your months. This is the goal spread. I'm starting to set this up. I feel like I'll show you guys a full setup later in the year once I'm actually in here. Since it's a planner, I feel like there's a lot more monthly spreads and like quarterly spreads that I'm not sure what to do with. I feel like this will be a memory keeping scrapbook. So yeah, this is the scrapbook that I decided to go with. It's actually a planner. I just feel like it'll be easier just to do like a little daily photo dump in these sections over here and like make it so not stressful. And like, let's say I do go on vacation or something, I have a lot more spreads too. I have a lot more pages back here to actually like paste in all the photos that I want. And yeah, I feel like it'll still get chunky, like not so much in a bad way. It'll probably get to like about like 1 or 2 inches big, just because it is a compact planner. I feel like I could fit a lot more in here. So yeah, I printed out this photo on Pinterest and I just put it in the front here. I thought it would look super cute. And then I printed this also background, and I wanted to do like 2025 scrapbooks. So yeah, I'm still thinking of some ways to set this up. I'm super excited to show you guys once I'm actually done, but I'm really happy to show you guys what I'm going to be using and get some ideas flowing for you guys too. Yeah, I feel like the weekly spreads will make a scrapbooking a lot easier. Yeah, I can't wait to start in here. I think it's going to be so much fun. I'm super excited. First I was not sure what I was going to do with this planner. I was just going to give it to my mom, but I'm so sorry. I am actually going to use it. I found a use for it, and that's how it is. So I hope you guys had such a fun time watching. I hope it was helpful and you guys got some insight into basic scrapbooking, and it's not really extravagant at all. I feel like I want to start doing a scrapbooking with me just to show you guys my actual process real time. So if you guys want to see that, go ahead and let me know in the comments or by liking this video. And with that, if you want to see more videos, don't forget to turn on the notifications and subscribe for more. And yeah, I think that will be it. Let me know if you guys are going to start scrapbooking in this upcoming year, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.